Welcome back. Well, the trial of Clinton lawyer Michael Sussman entering a second day this morning following explosive allegations from special counsel John Durham's team yesterday in opening arguments. Durham's team saying that Sussman manipulated the FBI to open an investigation into a phony Trump-Russia tie to, as a, quote, October surprise right before the 2016 election. Today, another former Clinton campaign lawyer, Mark Elias, and former FBI general counsel James Baker, at the center of this Sussman meeting, will testify. Joining me right now is New York Post columnist and Fox News contributor Michael Goodwin. Michael, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Maria.
So we were talking about this earlier. We have a hard time believing that Michael Sussman manipulated the FBI because the FBI knew that the Trump-Russia collusion was a lie from the get-go, and they still pursued an investigation and spied on Donald Trump. Give us your assessments of what you've heard so far and what you're expecting today.
Well, two things. I would say first, Maria, that this is an important trial, if only because you have the federal government making these charges about Hillary Clinton's campaign, that they intended to deceive the FBI as well as the media to create this false narrative of collusion, which they largely succeeded at. It did not end the election, but it certainly overwhelmed the Trump administration for the better part of 3 years and led, I think, to a lot of people having to ring up expensive legal bills to defend themselves from charges that were false from the beginning. But I would say, secondly, to your point about deceiving the FBI, who knew it would be so easy to deceive the FBI? Right. I mean, the FBI looks dopey here if they really fell for this. More likely, they had their own reasons for investigating Donald Trump, which had nothing to do with Russia, but which were everything about politics.
That's exactly right. And, you know, maybe they'd rather look dopey than actually get charged with lying and pushing surveillance when, in fact, it was not warranted. What else do you think we're going to find out in this trial? Is it going to end up on Hillary Clinton's doorstep? We know from John Brennan's notes that the Russians knew Hillary was trying to cook up a story about Trump. This was one political campaign trying to take down another. And yet the whole country was talking about Trump colluding.
Yes, and various parts of the administration were involved. The CIA, certainly, the FBI, Joe Biden himself in that Oval Office meeting, Susan Rice, President Obama himself. Right. They all knew that, the Trump campaign was being spied on without any real reason other than their distrust of him, their dislike of him, and they were all finding ways to try to keep the game going. Yep. Look, I think it's already on the doorstep and the lap of Hillary Clinton. You have Elias, you have Sussman, other members of her campaign team probably are going to testify at this trial. That's why I think this is such an important case. I think it's a very big deal that John Durham got this far with it. Yeah. And were Sussman to be convicted, I think we would then have the next step. I'm concerned that this jury pool in Washington, D.C. may be so unfavorable to Trump that will be very hard to win a conviction, in which case I think it would give the Biden administration license to shut it down. That's my fear of an acquittal. It's
a great point. That's what I was hearing as well. Let's not forget the next trial that we see is likely Danchenko, and that's going to happen in Virginia. So it'll be a different jury makeup there. Jackie DeAngelis, jump in.
You know, as Durham continues this probe, Michael, I think it's really important that we get to the truth, we get to the bottom of what happened here. But court, you know, the institution of court, for example, is very different than the court of public opinion. And so, you know, we found out that the Steele dossier was funded by the Clinton campaign and nobody cared. And we're finding out about Sussman, and, you know, we have to see if anybody cares. As these facts come out, there are going to be certain people who care. But is there any backlash, any tangible backlash that this will have on the Democrats?
No, because the mainstream media will ignore it or downplay it or excuse it or find some way why it's not significant. I think those of us who have followed the details of all these investigations have known all along that Hillary Clinton was behind this, that it was the dirtiest dirty trick ever played in American presidential politics. And she's gotten away with it so far. Her reputation hasn't been smeared by it. Thankfully, the Democrats don't like her for a host of reasons. Yep. but I think she bears enormous amounts of responsibility here.
Yeah, and don't forget how this entire story divided the country. When I learned that this was all a fake story made up by Hillary Clinton, I felt the need to yell it from the rooftops. And instead, I got pushback across the board from media and others. Michael, we're going to keep following this. We recognize how important it is, and we appreciate your insights on it. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.